Winning the Train to Hunt Nationals in Utah was absolutely surreal. I, to be honest with you, did not expect it. I went there to compete the best that I could. People say always go in there positively, like that you're going to win it. I go in there with a real expectation, and my expectation was to do what I could, and I can't control anybody else. My oldest son, Brody, and my mom and dad came to the event with me. The moment they called my name and I looked at my son and he was just completely lit up, that was rewarding for me. You know, my son saw me as a hero. You know, he was absolutely floored. Like, my mom just won this event, you know. He was so proud of me, and more than anything, that was the biggest reward, was just making him proud, you know, and watching him and showing him too, you know, the hard work that I put in. He's off. You know, you work hard for something and you set a goal and you set a dream, and you continue to work for it regardless of how you feel during the moment, and it pays off. And that was a really, really great feeling. I kind of hit a lower point in my life around 20, and exercise became my vice. It was what I turned to save my life, basically. So I started investigating that a little bit more seriously, and since then, you know, since kind of what I would say is recovering my life from my low point, I've been able to help other people recover the same ways. I think people underestimate depression, and there's lots of different avenues that can come from, and exercise is totally underrated when people think about, you know, how can I, you know, clear my head or get through this or move past it. Move your body. Our bodies are meant to move and be active. I think that the more that you can kind of control something, whether that's, you know, exercise or whatever that is, it empowers you. And once you can get a little piece of empowerment, you get hungry for more. You'll never get there if you don't start. You'll never get any closer to your goal or to your dream if you don't try. And when people are looking for motivation, you know, if they've got something in mind that they want to do, I always say, put one foot in front of the other. You know, if it's you know, getting up and getting moving and starting activity, put your shoes on and walk outside. Take a little step. If in 5 minutes you're not feeling it, then stop. But you're making progress a little bit at a time. Honestly, I want to see a lot more women get involved in archery as a whole, but also the fitness and archery aspect. I think there's a little bit of a stigma, or maybe a reputation with an event like this, that, you know, people look at it and go, wow, that's amazing, or that's crazy, or that's intense, I couldn't do that. But, you know, everybody's got a spot that they can begin at. You know, you don't have to match somebody else's level. I always say, you know, you're competing and you're moving yourself and your body at your own level. You know, don't look at somebody else and think, I've got to compete or do better than them. You know, even in competition, it's competition, but you can compete against yourself and set goals individually. I think consistency too is absolutely key. Of course, there's going to be days that you don't feel like, you know, going and grinding out a training session, or, you know, shooting your bow, or, you know, everybody has off days, but work through those, because there's a lot of growth that happens when you're uncomfortable. I think moving forward, trying to help other women get involved, or I'd love to see other women get involved without feeling like there's a barrier or an expectation. You know, you don't have to win it. You don't have to go out there and do that. Just go have fun with it. It's a family. You know, I walked in there on Friday not knowing anybody, and I kind of like tiptoed in, like, I hope nobody notices me, you know, I hope nobody knows that I'm here. And by the end of the weekend, I had, you know, 60 to 80 new friends, and people that, you know, would do anything that they could to help you and watch you succeed. And that was a really great feeling.